Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, and it is Wednesday, 12 o'clock on the dot. So, not on the dot. We're 4 minutes past. But nonetheless, you know that means it is my favorite hour of the day, which is Club Creative Hour. And today we have a special guest, Virginia Beach's very own rising star, blending R&B, hip-hop, and alternative sounds with raw emotion. Now, her music dives deep into personal experiences, making her one of the most authentic voices in the game right now, if I do say so myself. So, as always, let's dive into her journey, her creative process, and what's next. Welcome to Club Creative Hour, Shaolinn.
You did that.
You know what I'm saying?
You did that.
Yo, I think the introduction might be my favorite part of Club Creative, like for real. I love it.
That was cool.
Thank you. How are you feeling today? How are you?
I feel great. I feel very great. It's a beautiful day. Feels good outside. I feel good still.
So, okay, well, I'm glad. And the weather is very nice, so I'm ready to go out and enjoy that too. Mm-hmm. Now, Shao, it's excellent. Like, I've been looking forward to this interview because I love your artistry. I really do. I love how, like I said, how raw your music is. That's really important to me, the vulnerability aspect. So kind of walk me through, because I know you've been making music since you were younger, like a teen. Can you talk about how your journey started and like when you started taking music seriously? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I started taking music seriously when I was kind of at the end of the year in high school, so around like 17, 18-ish. And I really started taking it seriously when my friends kind of did their own little label, like their own local label. Obviously, it didn't fall through. It kind of burned in a dumpster fire. It was really bad, but it was cool.
Dumpster fire.
It was cool for the moment. But yeah, like after that, and they were putting their own little local shows in Norfolk and stuff like that. That was kind of where everything started for me, and then going to bars that I shouldn't have been going to, performing there.
And that's okay.
Just trying to put my name out there. So definitely around like the end of high school for sure.
Okay, and so how did you discover that you could sing? Is that something you always knew, like a talent you had? Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I've been singing since I was, for as long as I can remember.
Wow.
Basically, yeah, like all the Guitar Heroes and Rock Band games and stuff. Like I would always hog up the mic for my brothers, and I would always perform and we would do dances and stuff. And, like the parents would be like, do a little dance.
Yes.
Yeah, I was always doing it. Yeah. And I would make my cousins do it with me. I was like always a performer in my mind. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And obviously, so it comes very natural to you, I would say. Is it something that you always knew you were going to make a career out of?
No, actually. I actually wanted to be an astronaut for a long time.
Okay, that's valid.
Yeah. But I think that's like everyone's dream to leave Earth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, something about that is just very intriguing.
Yeah.
So I feel that as a child especially.
Yeah.
So after figuring out like, hey, this is something I do want to do, who were some of your influences? Like who made you feel like I could do what they're doing?
Definitely I really loved Lady Gaga a lot. I still do. But she's like, I basically wanted to be her for like so long when I was younger.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Really?
I know, like at all. Like I'm actually shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Lady Gaga, and definitely her, and rappers like Eminem and stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah, it's definitely random. But
like what about them is it that stood out to you? Like what I'm trying to think of like what pieces or elements of them are kind of found in your music. Like what about them is it that inspired you?
So Lady Gaga always inspired me. I think it was just she was very like on edge and very like rebellious, like very I'ma do it. I don't care.
Yes.
And I feel like I love that about her so much, and just the pop music in general. I love her music, but Eminem was more like, that's just one of the rappers that I grew up on because my mom would listen to Eminem a lot, and he was just one of those that I was just listening to him and I just loved his music. So
okay,
but Lady Gaga like definitely influenced me the most, and Adele.
Yeah. Oh, and Adele, yes. Now I love Adele. I can get down with that. I feel that. And with the like growing up, and then would you say that you grew up in like a musical household, like where music was important with your family? How did that affect you as a singer now?
I definitely say my mom for sure. influenced me a lot as well because she rapped actually.
Really?
Yeah, she used to write music a lot, and she would go to her friends' studios and stuff like that. And she would like show me her songs growing up and everything. So she definitely like mentally she influenced me the most because she was the one that was always just around music all the time and loved it. She played everything. It didn't matter. Like, she didn't discriminate.
Yes. No wonder it comes so naturally to you. She was probably like, while you were in the womb, like she was probably doing the same thing. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense.
Just bumping.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, no, period. And it shows. Now, your music, it kind of blends, like I said, R&B, alternative, and hip hop influences, which now all of that makes sense. So how do you approach creating such a unique sound? Because it's still like, yes, you have your influences, but it's still very individualistic. So what kind of inspires the type of music that you make? Like, what goes into that?
Honestly, what really inspires me is everything that I'm going through in that moment. And even just some things that I feel like I didn't find or couldn't find closure in. I kind of give myself that closure in my songs. And sometimes I'll even make music in the perspective of someone else. So being inspired just by other things that maybe I haven't experienced, but I can like understand, you know? So sometimes I'll make music about movies or animes and characters and stuff. I'm very imaginative.
Yeah. I can feel that's obvious. That makes a lot of sense because being able to write from somebody else's perspective, I feel takes a lot of imagination.
Yeah.
And it really, I guess, well, correct me, does it get you into character of how that person might have felt or what experience they're going through? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, it definitely gets me into character for sure. Like, I feel like I feel like low-key, like I'm like acting in a way. Like, I feel like when this character that I have a vision for or I have a concept for, I try my best to embody that, even the darkest parts of that character, and try and like be that person. And whether that's the art that I draw around it, or maybe the style of the beats, like the certain types of beats and certain melodic tones, I try and really build that around that character, like build that world musically and like artistically.
It's crazy because listening to your music, you would truly think that everything that you've written, like you can't differentiate whether you went through it or you're writing about somebody else.
Yeah.
It's so genuine and raw. Like it just feels like it's something that, seriously, it feels like it's something you've gone through. And I'm like, wow, I really, like, I believe this. I really believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, you're so welcome. Make sure you stay tuned. We have Samurai Shaolinn in the building, okay, talking about her artistry, her craft. And we definitely have to get more into this emotional part of it because that's a very big part of being a creative. I feel is being vulnerable with your art. So stay tuned, ladies and gents. Hot 91, the soul of VA. Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, and for Club Creative Hour today, we got Shaolinn in the building. Virginia Beach's very own, very talented, very passionate. Now, no, because we were just talking off air a little bit about sort of your creative process when it comes to writing. And something that stands out to me is your love for what you do.
Yes.
Literally, it's like it radiates. I think a lot of people might do something and be good at it, but not have that passion behind it. But yours is literally evident. Like, I can feel it. Yeah. So can we talk about the passion real quick? So maybe, you know, it might be the tone of your voice. It might be that paired with like the instruments that you choose in your music. But your songs, they explore a very deep, personal kind of theme. It always feels very deep and very personal. So how do you find the courage, number one, to be so vulnerable in your art? Because that's not for the weak. You know, putting yourself out there is not for the weak.
I think finding the courage is knowing that sometimes you're going to embarrass yourself, and not even just embarrass yourself. In your mind, you can find it embarrassing, even if other people don't view it as that. Sometimes it's like, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that, but you did. You know, it's out there, and that's kind of like what it is. It's being able to push through the embarrassing moments, but also being able to get over people judging you, judging what you're doing, and just really just locking in and accepting that whether this pulls through or not the way that I wanted to, or it might pull through in the way that I didn't expect it to, in a good or a bad way, just being happy that it even is out there.
Yes, that it exists at all.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, back in, 2021, you dropped your debut EP, Blackstone. Do you ever go back and listen to older songs and feel differently about what you were talking about during that time? Like, even with it being like, okay, it's out there. Like, do you ever feel differently about your older music?
I like that question. No one's ever asked me that question. I do. Yeah, I feel different in the way of like looking, kind of like that saying, if you could look at your younger self, what would you do? If you could be face to face with your younger self, what would you do? Would you like sit down, talk to them? Would you hug them? Would you give them what you felt like you needed at that moment?
At that moment, yeah.
And that's kind of like how I feel about my songs. I know where my headspace was at that time. So I don't necessarily like reminisce, because I don't tend to reminisce much, but I more so just sit and I go like, dang, I feel better now. You know what I mean?
Like I'm grateful.
Like I feel good now, because girl, what was that? Like, what was I on?
I feel that though. But, it's important, I think, to look back and not feel so like down on yourself about where you may have been mentally. I feel like that's a habit a lot of people have had. I've had that habit
I just
before,
feel a little
ooh. Like, okay, that happened and now it's over. So, okay, and I think that's good though. So have you been able to use your music then as sort of an outlet for, I don't want to jump right into saying for healing.
No, you're good.
But technically, like, would you say that it has been like a form of therapy for you?
Oh, for sure. There are songs that are out that I have made during a time where I was like over it. Like, and there were songs that I made where I was like, I ain't gonna find the closure in this person. I ain't gonna get the closure. I'm going to just create it myself. I'm going to give myself that closure and move on from it. And whether I was right or wrong in that situation, we'll never know, because, you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, for me, it's like, that's just how I move on from it. It's literally just storytelling to me.
Yeah.
It's like writing the book and then ready for the next ready for the next one,
That is such a good thing.
Yeah.
That has to be so calming and such a peaceful outlet for you when it comes to life in general, because being stuck in a situation that you can't get over, it's like, okay, I'm gonna write about it.
Yeah.
Like, so a little anecdote real quick, because I was in a band previously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Last year, I was in a band for 6 months, y'all. And I remember at one point, there was a time, and I'm going to have a vulnerable moment here, but I couldn't get over an ex. And it was really hard. And when we actually sat down and I kind of just started writing, because I played guitar, I kind of just came up with like a melody for it. And then my singer and my drummer, we all came together to write lyrics towards it, like kind of how I was feeling. After that song, I kid you not, that's the only closure I've ever needed.
Yeah.
Just writing it and having it out there. It's like, wow, that's like a weight off of my shoulders. So when it comes to you writing your music and crafting it, what comes first for you? Is it like the melody? Is it the lyrics? Is it a feeling? Like, what typically comes first?
The feeling. I feel like however how the beat sounds, sometimes even the name of the beat, like how they when they name their beats and stuff like that, even the name of it gives me the feeling first, and then I do the melody. I rarely write the lyrics, so because mostly I freestyle.
Yes.
So I tend to just feel and sing Yeah.
No, that's a great gift. I feel like that's where you get the most passionate music out when it comes from a place of just feeling. And I know we talked about a little bit earlier off air how your DJ probably has a slew of recordings of you just freestyling because you can just do that.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about how you have that gift of just freestyling? Honestly.
It definitely I definitely had to practice for sure. And it wasn't even just practicing to find the content to be able to just kind of sing and think at the same time. Like getting over that hump wasn't too bad. It was being okay with embarrassing yourself and being okay with sometimes you're not gonna say something that hits. Sometimes you're gonna say something that's like,
ooh, that wasn't quite.
Yeah, yeah. And some people they'll start scratching their heads like,
what was that supposed to be?
Yeah. So it's like there definitely have been moments where I did not cook. There definitely have been moments, a lot of moments. It's literally just getting over that. And sometimes I get stuck, like even when I'm freestyling, sometimes like I lose the word. I can't find the melody. Like sometimes I'll go off key or I'll sound pitchy. Like it's just all about finding it and literally like being comfortable doing it, even if you're not doing it well.
Now, and that seems to be a big theme when it comes to making your art is being okay with not being, top tier at times, like, oh, I didn't cook right then.
Yeah.
Or, being okay with being embarrassed, even if it's only with yourself.
Yeah.
Now, back in 2020, you began your collab with Pusha T's Airwave Music Group. Can you tell me if this was the case, if you had to kind of form that, or, okay, how do I put this? Like, reform that okayness with being embarrassed and being vulnerable with being on a bigger stage at that point?
I think I had to reform myself in a way to not embarrass myself. You know what I'm saying?
Like how?
Like I had to reform myself in a way where people, it's easy. I'm easier to digest.
Okay.
Like easier for people to consume, like watch me and be like, she's dope, or like listen to my music. Not the music aspect, never that, but just how I presented myself. Definitely trying not to embarrass myself.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But then I was like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like after a while, it gets to a point to where it's like trying not to embarrass myself, trying too hard to be cool, and then when people actually get to know the real you, they actually mess with that more than you trying to be cool. And
that's really important.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you just said something.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that's really, especially when you're going into something like the music industry in general. It seems like there would be a lot of pressure for you to change who you are in order to like fit into what they think is cool or normal for them.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot in what you said about the realization, like, actually, me being me is the coolest thing that I can be. Not to be corny or anything, but that's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shaolinn in the building. Make sure you stay tuned for Club Creative on Hot 91, the soul of VA. Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes. We have Shaolinn in the building for Club Creative Hour today. I'm loving this conversation. What can I say? I really do. Because, like I said, I really am obsessed with passion. And that's something, it's like you don't even try to, it's not like you're telling me directly music is my passion, but it's just something that's really felt. Like you haven't, I hate to say aura, but that's what it is. Like, you just have this very strong vibe about you, and I absolutely love it.
I love that.
Now, something that I was wondering also is that, obviously, yes, it's easy to be vulnerable when it comes to, being a person who wears your heart on your sleeve, being passionate, like all of that makes sense. But has there ever been an experience or a song that you've written that was maybe even a little hard for you to actually write about because of the level of vulnerability or the level of intensity that came with that experience for you? Was there ever anything like that?
So so the new songs that I wrote are like that. But the songs that are out, I would have to say obviously Heavy Heart, cause I didn't even want that song to be put out, and my manager was just like, no, we're putting this out. And I didn't expect it to have as much love as it did when it came out, especially let alone from a lot of women, and just kind of telling me that that's how they felt, especially in school, not feeling pretty enough, feeling too skinny or too overweight or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just having that aspect of everything and really kind of coming up to me and telling me their stories. And that was like really cool. And there was one moment where there was a mom actually that came up to me and she told me that her daughter, she's like starting high school. She loves Heavy Heart. Like, her daughter loved it so much. And she was like, I feel like my daughter feels like this a lot. And that's why like she loved the song a lot too. And I was just like, dang. I was like, I don't really like this song. And I was like, but if y'all like it, I'm gonna like it. I like it too. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it was like, it was a song that like I didn't want to come out, but I'm happy that it did.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, because it was able, and it's so funny how that typically happens. The ones that you don't want are the ones that so many people can relate to. And I love that story that you told about even the mom who was able to kind of see that in her daughter as well. I don't know, that's deep and that's important work. So I have to say thank you for being so vulnerable because I think people are scared of vulnerability a lot of the time, but it can be such a beautiful thing. Like, as humans, I think we share that, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, what? Like, we all know. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Why can't we just
let's normalize this? And I hate when people, because it's like, oh, that's so overrated, but like, can we normalize being vulnerable? Like, can we? Now, the music industry can definitely be tough, especially for artists who create from a deeply emotional place. So how do you protect your mental and emotional well-being, even being that you're so giving with yourself and your experiences? How do you still protect yourself?
I protect myself by trying not to be too much of a people pleaser. And I feel like I was doing that for a long time, and in all aspects of my music career. And literally my manager, Chris Toon, he is kind of the outside protection. So he helps me be myself in the best way that I can. Even if I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do this dumb thing that I shouldn't do. He's like, okay, maybe let's not do that.
Yeah.
But we can do something like that, but not that.
But not that one.
But for me, it's like, trying not to be too much of a people pleaser and literally just being myself and being okay that sometimes people aren't gonna mess with me. They're not gonna like me. They're gonna probably think I'm weird or I'm just not for them, vice versa, and we'll exist without each other. You know what I mean? That's cool. But it's literally just being yourself, and you'll really find your people when you do that.
Oh my goodness.
And
yes.
I like appreciate that and cherish that more than trying to please everyone.
Absolutely. And it's so cool that you learned that through music. What's like another, because that seems like it's a pretty big one, but what's something that you have learned about yourself through making music that you might not have realized otherwise?
That I really need to appreciate my skills more. I think I tend to downplay myself a lot to stay humble, you know, and to make other people around me feel comfortable. But it's like, if I know that this song that I just did is fire,
what can they say?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's okay, it's whatever, to make people feel comfortable around me. Like, I'm gonna be like, no, this is fire. And if you don't think this is fire, you have problems. Yeah, like, you got problems, not me. Like, so that's just kind of like me like picking that up from in my music to really just appreciate myself more and congratulate myself and really support the little wins that I do. Really cherish that.
So it sounds like your confidence has been upped through creating your music and realizing those things about yourself. It's like, I'm actually really good at this.
Yeah.
So I love that so much for you. Honestly, that's beautiful that it has been able to give you that. Honestly, that it's been able to give you that. Now, you have a lot of, always have cool stuff coming up. Tell me a little bit about what stage you're going to be on April 25th in Virginia Beach, because I'm excited for you. Like, I've seen you perform before. Actually, you know what? I saw you, the last time that I saw you perform was Juneteenth.
Yes.
I think I saw you at the Juneteenth stage in Portsmouth. But tell me a bit about this Vibe Festival going down.
So I'm going to be performing April 25th on the beach at 24th Street at Vibe Check. and I'm going to be opening for Waka Flocka.
Hey!
And it's going to be me and my band. And it's going to be great. And we're going to have a great time. And yeah. And then should I say the other stuff?
Yeah, go ahead. By all means. Yeah.
And also, this is for my manager. Also, I'm performing at the Annex April 4th. Mo Wood's show.
What?
Planted. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I'm doing a band as well. Yeah.
On April 4th?
April 4th, yeah.
So for your band, Pump is your drummer?
Yeah.
That was my drummer.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm so excited. Okay, yeah. I'm going to be there April 4th for sure.
Yeah, but Pump is like, he's that guy.
He was just I had Pump was my last interview.
I did. I watched it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm just that. What a perfect duo. Outside of the rest of the band, obviously, but yeah, obviously, you know, it's like you guys mesh very well.
Yeah.
And I know you guys did like a private show at Only You as well.
Yeah.
Can we expect any other kind of? Well, obviously the Annex is local, yes, but can we expect any other shows where in places where people can pop in and kind of see you?
Ooh, not that I know of, but I do kind of like just do spontaneous stuff. Like I'm just a very like, if people are like, hey, there's an open mic, I'll be like, hey, you available? You want to just do this real quick? And then me and my friends like, yeah, and then we just do it.
I want to see one of your freestyle sessions.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I really like. I actually need to see that now, because don't try to ask me to freestyle. My brain literally, it's like I know no words. Actually, I don't even know what my name is right now. So I'm very excited about your show at the Annex on April 4th, and then opening up for Waka Flocka on April 25th, the day before or the day after your birthday.
Yes.
Now we talked about what you're gonna do for your birthday, and you said you had plans of
eating.
I'm
gonna eat. I'm gonna eat.
So we're definitely gonna give you a birthday shout out for then. And lastly, let me see because I know what I feel like when I listen to your music, especially live. Oh my gosh, it's such a vibe. But how do you want people to feel, if anything, when they listen to your music?
I want them to really take it all in, even if they don't like it. Like, even if it's not for them, to just listen and be like, yeah, that was, I listened to it. I like this, but, I wouldn't listen to it again, or I like this more than that. You know what I mean? Or it's just not for me. I even take that as well. And for me, I just want to really see someone just take their time to actually sit down and take it all in.
And listen.
Yeah, even if it's not for them.
I feel that. And honestly, that can go for anything.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. You know what I mean? But your music is something that I would definitely tell people, lock in. Lock in, get into it, because I don't know, it kind of helps you to, like you said, even with the woman who was able to understand her daughter's emotions better by listening to it, like you just never know what that can unlock within you. So I would admonish somebody to listen to Shaolinn's music, because it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. And you have I love your voice. It's so like, it has a little rasp to it. Like, I love that. So definitely check in with Shao on Instagram. So plug everything. Where can we listen to you? Where can we find you? Where can we keep up?
So my Instagram and all my socials are Samurai Shao, SAMURAISHAO. My artist name on all streaming platforms is Shaolinn, SHAOLINN. And I have a new single coming out on my birthday called Unaware, April 24th at 9 p.m.
Woo!
For my old OG fans before Blackstone, I'm re-releasing a single that I put out called Retro Love on May 23rd, and a new single that's like a very cool club song called Belize on June 27th.
I'm excited about. Is it gonna give Lady Gaga?
It's not giving Lady Gaga.
Is it giving Lady Gaga?
It's giving like nice like island
Ooh,
vibes. Yeah,
I can tell by the name Belize. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm looking forward to all of that. Y'all make sure you keep up with Shao because she's doing her big one, especially in the community, but even on the grand world stage. Like, I'm expecting great things. I can see it. I foresee it. So thank you so much for joining me today, Shaolinn. It's truly been a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you.
I love vulnerable people.
Thank you. Me too.
In the best and less weird and non-weird way. Like, I love it. So thank you for sharing your passion with us today.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all stay tuned. Have your mental health moment with Mercedes coming up next on Hot 91, The Soul of VA.